Hey there, my foxy peeps. So I got an interesting tag video that I decided to do. It's called Paranormal Tag. And the first person that invented it was Graveyard Girl, who I follow and adore. She is like awesome. So the first question is, because I wrote it down on a little notebook just so you know why I'm looking down. The first question is, how old were you when you had your first paranormal experience? From what I can remember, I was probably about 4 or 5. And this is kind of creepy, but my first paranormal experience was of a bloody head on my bedroom floor. I had woken up in the middle of the night, and that is what I saw on my floor. It was creepy. Second question is, have you always believed in ghosts? Well, ever since that experience, I would have to say, yes, I have believed in ghosts ever since I was, 4 or 5. And, yeah, quite a lot of experiences. Third question. Where is your favorite place to investigate? I would have to say my favorite place would be Deadwood, South Dakota. And I have actually did some investigating, and I have links on my videos, so you could check out the videos. There's like the Bullock Hotel, what was it called? Franklin Hotel. The Franklin Hotel, the Bullock Hotel. Me and a friend had went down and investigated there. It was pretty awesome. Number 4. What is your favorite investigating tool to use? Well, besides, like the traditional camera, which can catch quite a lot of stuff, because if you check out my videos, you'll find out. I have a spirit box, otherwise known as a ghost box, and I use that as well. So I got some pretty interesting and, interesting evidence off of there as well. Number 5. What is your scariest paranormal experience? I would say the scariest. I don't know. I would have to say that, growing up in that house that I grew up in, and the paranormal experience would have to be just knowing that something was there that I couldn't see, and it knew I was there. And just having that horrible feeling that somebody was watching me, like, constantly, and I couldn't see them. That would be a horrible experience, I would have to say, that I went through. And probably the second scariest, for me as a kid, is when I was little, we moved out of that house, because, well, it was really, really old and falling in on itself. But we moved into a double wide modular that my dad had bought, and I moved over there, and one night, I don't know, or it was early in the morning. I'd have to say about maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I had just woken up, and I could hear, the family talking, like my mom and dad talking, and all of a sudden I hear my dad say, "Oh, Lacey must be playing with her keyboard." And I was assuming that one of my parents was playing with one of my games that I had gotten, because this was around Christmas time. And I was like, I'm not even up. So I went running out of my room. Well, we went back into my room, and in my closet, where nothing could touch it, I had a game sitting on the shelf, and it was playing all by itself. Nothing was touching it. Nothing made it turn on. It just turned on all by itself. Going hey wonky and playing. It was kind of creepy. Number 6. What is your favorite paranormal experience? I wouldn't say they were all my favorites. I would probably say the one that is probably my favorite paranormal experience is probably when I went down to Deadwood and investigated down there. Because, I don't know, it was new and interesting and quite fun. And I'd have to say when me and my friend investigated Mount Moriah Cemetery, and we were leaving, and I had shut off my camera, but I had left my ghost box, spirit box, going. So I had shut my camera off, put it in my coat pocket, and we were walking down the stairs, and it had ended up snowing the night before we went there. Because, you know, it's the hills. And so we were like stepping down, and the spirit box literally said, "Watch out!" Because the steps were slippery. And we were just like, whoo! So I would have to say that would be my favorite paranormal experience. Number 7. Do you know anyone else personally who has paranormal experiences? Yes, I would have to say my friend who investigated with me down in Deadwood. Her name is Angela. She has, like, paranormal experiences, like, all the time. She's usually sending me pictures from her house and saying, "Do you see this? Because I see this." Or she'll tell me an experience that has happened to her at work, which that place is creepily haunted. And you know, it's kind of interesting because, you know, she has the same experiences like I do, and we're able to share them with one another. Number 8. Do you have trouble convincing friends and family about your paranormal experiences? Well, I had a boyfriend a couple years ago. He does not believe in the paranormal. And when we went down to Deadwood, me and my friend, he did not believe that we had any experiences. He just doesn't think it exists. Yet he was always creeped out about my house. Family, my dad kind of tells me ghosts don't exist. It's a figment of my imagination. My mom somewhat believes me, but not completely. My grandma says she believes I have seen stuff, but doesn't believe that, you know, it's completely real. She believes that ghosts exist. She just doesn't believe that, you know, I see them all the time. Okay. Number 9. Your favorite paranormal TV show or movie? I would say my favorite paranormal TV show would have to be Ghost Adventures. Because I've been watching that since the dawn of its existence on TV. Which I can't remember what TV channel it came on because that was quite a long time ago. But I remember the first episode coming on and I was watching it, and yeah, ever since then, Ghost Adventures has always been my favorite TV show. Number 10. What would be your dream place to investigate? Well, my dream place, I would love to go to Salem, Massachusetts and investigate there. Or, you know, just the older part of the United States. You know, like the original 13 colonies. You know, Massachusetts, New York, Virginia. Because obviously they gotta have some interesting, you know, evidence there. Or, like, where was that? Like, Rhode Island? Was it? That Jamestown colony? I think so. I can't remember. I was terrible in history class. I don't know. If it didn't interest me, I didn't pay attention. But I do remember, like, the Jamestown colony. And I think that was in Rhode Island. And when they first came here or whatever, and then they left those people there, and then the people just vanished. They just disappeared. I don't know if it was the Jamestown colony or... I can't remember. But it was that one colony that up and disappeared, and then they had no idea where they went to. They were just gone. Nobody. Just empty fort. That would be my dream place to investigate too. Number 11. Do you prefer to investigate alone or in a group? Okay. Sometimes I will probably do it alone, but because of my experiences like in Deadwood, I would probably want a friend with me because it was really intense. I mean, you'd have to check out those videos. But one of the experiences was we had fallen asleep, me and my friend. She was in her bed, I was in my bed. And she said about 2 o'clock in the morning, she had gotten woken up with her toes being tugged. Well, she said she shot up out of bed and she was just like, oh my God, she left me here all by myself. She thought I went down stairs or whatever, but in technicality, I was like all tucked into my bed with the blanket over my head. Yeah. And then she realized that I was still there because she said she saw tuft of my red hair peeking through the blanket. And I remember the same experience later on near the morning. The sun was starting to come up and I felt my toe being tugged. So I literally shot up because heaven forbid anyone touch my feet. I do not like my feet touched. No matter how many people I tell that to, they always want to touch my feet. Ew. But, so I shot up out of bed and I was looking all over like, whoa, what just touched me? You know, like what just pulled at my feet? And I felt, ew, excuse me, felt something get up off my bed. And I was just like, okay, that just happened. So I kind of was like, okay, the sun's popping up. It's like, it was like 6:30 in the morning. So I laid back down, went back to sleep for a little while. And let's just say we literally ran out of that hotel. That was at the Franklin. We ran out of that hotel and literally saged ourselves off. And I saged my car, the outside of my car, the inside of my car, the trunk of my car. You know, I saged everything because I was just like, oh, that was just the creepiest, you know, experience to have to go through. Okay, number 12. Is your home haunted? Well, this home, personally, is not that I can sense, because usually I can sense if there's a spirit in the house. I don't really sense anything, and if it is, it's a good presence, so I don't know. But I do know that the house that I was living in, that I was renting when I had that one boyfriend, not the last one, we won't go there, but the one before that, that house was haunted. And, you know, you can see it in my old videos, that house with, like, the background of pictures and stuff. That house was haunted. I remember one experience in that house where it was late at night. I had gotten up, went and done something, came back. I was like, okay, I'm just going to lay back down, took a sip of pop. I was laying there for like 10 minutes, about to fall asleep. All of a sudden, something just got thrown off my coffee table. And I was like looking and I was just like, oh my God, really? My ghost is like trying to wake me up. So I was like, shh. And I laid back down and then it was like all quiet. But there was many times when that boyfriend was in my house and my vacuum cleaner would just shoot across like the living room floor. Like literally, it was just like thrown across the living room floor. He would get up all freaked out like, oh my God, I'm going home. At least I don't have to live here. And I was just like, just tell it to shush, it'll be fine. But, I have like a dry throat. Anyway. I need a sip of something. Too much talking. Coca-Cola. Okay, now I feel better. Okay, number 13. Have you ever had any paranormal experience with animals? I would have to say with animals. Yeah, I have. Oh my God, I just got pop all over my computer screen. That was lovely. But anyway, a paranormal experience with an animal would be, I was probably like 10, 11, probably about 10, maybe 11. And my brother was on the activity bus. We lived out in the middle of the country. So, and this was in that really old house that was like caving in on itself. And my parents and my brother went to go and pick up my big brother from the activity bus. So I decided I don't want to go. I just want to sit at home. I wanted to watch TV because then I had control over the really big TV remote so I can like watch TV for once and not have somebody say, oh, you can't watch that. And I was actually watching nothing scary because at that time they had Unsolved Mysteries on and I could not even, that music creeped me out. So I was sitting and I was watching something on TV, something not even scary. I think I put it like on Disney or something. And I had this feeling that somebody was behind me, staring at me. And I kept turning around, thinking, what is there? I thought maybe my little brother just stayed behind and was trying to scare me. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I had this uneasy feeling, like I had to get out of that house. So I decided to go out the house. And at the end of the stair, or at the end of the sidewalk, stairs. At the end of the sidewalk was my dog. And he was all whimpering and like whining. And he was never like that, you know. He was usually always in the porch because that's where he lived, was in the porch. And here he was at the end of the sidewalk, which was quite a ways away from the house. And I went over there and I was like petting him and everything and like trying to calm him down because he was like all freaking out. And I just felt like something was still staring out that window. And he could sense it. He could see it. And I couldn't see anything, but I knew something was there. Well, when my parents got back from picking up my big brother, they were like, what are you doing outside? Why are you out here in the dark? And I was just like, oh, I just felt like petting the puppy. Because I didn't want to tell them because they never really believed that the house was haunted. Though I knew the house was haunted. But yeah, that was my paranormal tag. Leave a comment down below, like your favorite place to investigate. Any places that you think that I could probably go and investigate. Probably not too far away from South Dakota. Because, you know, my work and everything, I don't get a lot of time off. But, you know, somewhere where, you know, maybe at some point in time I can go and investigate. I always wanted to go down to, like, Savannah, Georgia. Because that sounds so cool. And New Orleans. That would be, like, really cool to go and investigate as well. But leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching. And like, comment, or subscribe. Because I randomly put up videos. And